All right, man. How you do? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we don't have the bar drop. Oh, I could add that. You could
You
actually
should.
have that stuff once you pay for once you pay for this, because right now we're on a free trial. Once you pay
Okay.
for it, you can add music. You could do so we'll be able to put our little intro and all that stuff in there. So anyway, I'm Bryce.
Yeah, so I'll
That's
post this
that's your
still
part.
as our podcast,
That's your part,
but
Paul. I'm Bryce.
we're gonna
You're supposed to
miss
say
out on all of that beginning because I don't have my iPad here. I don't
it
have my
doesn't matter.
laptop
It,
here.
it's already going, dude. It's live. We're live.
Oh, we are
This is
live. We're
on.
official
This
live.
is
Okay,
this
gotcha.
is
Well,
live
I'm
live.
Paul. This is Bryce. It's 20
And I'm
minutes of
Bryce.
fitness.
And this is 20 minutes
How you
fit.
doing, Bryce?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, living the dream, buddy. Living the dream.
So,
Um,
our first podcast in a while.
First podcast in a while. We've both been very busy. You've
Yep.
been training, or I've been training and working, and you've been also working, actually.
Yeah, for you, weirdly enough.
Yeah, so that was fun. Got you a little bit of work.
Yeah, it was
You
great.
quit your job by selling your business, and then I made you work for me right away.
I know. Yeah, smart man, smart man.
But it worked out well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so, yeah. And then I was training a lot because I was doing the half Ironman, which I had to do before I could do the full Ironman. And so
Yep.
I came up to Canada, where I am right now, to do a half Ironman. So 1.2 kilometer or 1.2 mile swim, and then a 56-mile bike, and then a 13.1 mile run. And
Whew.
I've been training a lot since I found out I was going to do Kona. And so I've been
Yep.
training 7 days a week, average about 2.5 hours a day, I'd say.
Good God.
Lots and lots of cardio. And honestly, I wanted to quit on Sunday. It was really not that awesome, specifically on the bike.
Really?
So when I did the last half in the Honu in Hawaii, is a
Yep.
very aggressive, like fairly challenging course. This one was hillier, but the
Okay.
full that I did in Canada in Whistler was actually just as hilly and twice as long.
Okay.
And the bike was brutal, and I think the reason why it was so brutal for me is because I trained the way that I trained, which I don't think was optimal for me.
Meaning what?
So
Too much biking and
my
stuff?
my coach's philosophy was to train at low intensity for extremely long durations
Okay.
to get my body able to do more at those low durations. So there was no intensity almost ever. And I would be
Oh,
working
okay.
at like a 135 to 145 heart rate for like up to 5 hours straight. So it took a lot of time. And her theory was basically that,
Hmm.
or kind of putting words in her mouth, but essentially that if I train at that low intensity, the amount of work I can do at that low intensity will go up,
Right.
which may be true over time. But in the 2 months that I've been working with her, even though I trained so much, no rest days, like just worked my ass off, um, it really didn't make me feel fit when I was doing the bike.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do now, I ended up firing my coach right after the race, not immediately
Now this is
after, but
because
shortly
you're
after.
just not into the low output,
Yeah, I just think that I can train way more efficiently. Like I think
harder.
if I push harder for shorter durations, I'll get fitter, and then
Hmm.
that fitter will transfer to me being able to perform better.
Yeah.
So when I did the first half Ironman, I didn't do any training for Ironman at all, but I was doing a lot of
Okay.
CrossFit back then in 2017,
Yeah.
and I did way better. And it's just because I was fitter. So
Right.
granted, that was more um, anaerobic and less aerobic fitness because of
Hmm.
the training I was doing, but being way more anaerobically fit also carried over to being more aerobically fit.
Right.
Whereas in just doing straight aerobic, like aerobic fitness, like keeping my heart rate in low sectors, didn't get me to the same level of fitness as what I did in the past. And then
Okay.
what I did for the full was mostly work on still shorter term stuff, but like I would do like mile runs in between. Like I do wads where there'd be like
Right.
6 rounds with mile runs in them. So it's still getting into the aerobic capacity side of things, but not to the same extent as doing a 5 hour bike ride.
Yeah, you're mixing some
But
anaerobic in there, bursts of
yeah,
power. Yeah.
a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And especially because of the one that I did just now, it was super hilly. Like there was about 4,000 feet of elevation climb over the bike, which means
Mm,
you go up a hill, you get to the top, you go back down a hill. You get to the bottom of the hill, there's another hill throughout the whole time.
yeah.
So I expected to finish the bike in about 2.5 hours based on my training rides. I did about a 40-mile bike ride in about 2 hours. So doing the extra 16 miles seemed like it should take another half hour, give or take.
Yeah.
But because of the hills and the heat and all the kind of things that it ended up taking me like 3:20 or 3:15, I think, to do the
Yeah.
bike. So it was almost
Yeah.
an hour off pace. And it was just, I didn't feel fit, man, like at all. So
Your
yeah,
swim only took you like a half hour, right? 29 minutes, something
the
like
swim
that.
was 30 something minutes. The swim was great,
30 something.
actually. The swim was the one thing that
Yeah.
Michelle did do really well for me. She trained
That's
me,
good.
like her swim programming was excellent and got my swim to
Yeah.
where it should be. And then my
And
run, I was
your
just
run
over
looked
2 hours on the run, which was
2:11, something
okay.
like that. That's pretty decent. Yeah. After
And the
all that
last
other
time I
stuff.
did a half, I did it in two, like almost even.
Yeah.
So it was slightly
Yeah.
slower than last time, but because I was more tired from the bike, I feel like that was about on par what it should have been. So it was
Yeah. That
just the
seems okay.
bike that was about
The
an hour
bike.
longer than it should have been.
Yeah, because I was looking at your time. It was what, 6:23, something like that, right?
Yeah, 6:23.
So
So it wasn't
double
terrible.
double
Last time I was
double
six
that
oh
up.
eight.
Double that up. You're well over your 14-hour time from last triathlon full.
Well, carry the two.
Yeah,
6:23
you,
is not more than 14,
bro.
but
You're not running. You're not doing the second. You're not doing double the work
the
in
second half's
twice
not
the
as fast.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So honestly, I'm not even positive that I'm going to do the full anymore.
really. What?
It was really uncomfortable. So I
Really? Is
probably
that
will,
bad?
but it was bad enough that it was kind of like making me
Ye-
question why I'm even doing it. Because the first one, I stuck it out no matter how bad it hurt because I needed
Yeah.
to check it off my bucket list.
Well, you had to
But
finish
now
your
it's checked
tattoo.
off the bucket list, man. I don't know if I need to do another one. So
Yeah.
I haven't decided for sure yet, but I'll probably still do the full because it's the
Okay.
World Championship and why not?
That's
But
something to check too. Yeah.
yeah, it's another bucket list check, kind of, but not as big as the first one was. So
Yeah.
I don't
No
know.
doubt.
Having that mental toughness to finish it is going to be a struggle if I don't have a good reason to push hard.
Okay. Well,
So
um,
on that note, something big's coming in the world of fitness, right?
yeah, we got the CrossFit Games starting tomorrow. Yeah,
I
probably
thought
in
you
less
meant
than.
that they hired a new CEO of CrossFit.
Yeah,
That wasn't the big
they've
news.
they have a new captain of the sinking ship. Yes, they do.
So
That's not.
as of today, like what 4 hours ago, six
Yep.
hours ago, something like that, they announced that there's a new CEO.
Yep.
And what's interesting about the new CEO to me is that his most recent job was running a smart clothing brand, basically that has like sensors built into their clothes and whatnot,
Yep.
which is interesting and fitness related. But then before that, his three previous jobs were being like the head or whatever high up positions within social media. So Facebook, Twitter, and one other one. I don't remember. I didn't take notes.
Google.
But Google, there you go, and Google. So,
It's a small company out in the West Coast. Yeah.
but his expertise isn't in running a fitness organization, it's
Yeah.
in
No shit.
running a
Thank
social
God.
media organization, right?
Yeah. Well.
So they put a new CEO in whose expertise is social media in essence. And I'm totally just going off the like one article I read, but
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the
What?
best thing for CrossFit to have a social media guy take over? I mean, he's an ex-Marine, he's fit.
It's probably good for the sport, maybe for the
Maybe.
athletes. I don't know.
Well,
I.
and it might be okay for the affiliates because if they can bring more recognition to CrossFit, then that makes more people know
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah.
that could be good. And bringing Castro back to be in charge of the affiliates, I mean, that could be
Maybe.
good. So all in all, it might be good moves.
I don't know. I
Maybe.
think the affiliates are just a it's a sinking model anyway. That's not going to be recovered. But you know, who the hell
And
knows?
that's why you sold your affiliate.
100%. Yep. Yeah, I don't see affiliates being very profitable. Actually, the Sevon podcast just had a guy on there that owned one in I want to say Idaho, something with an I, Idaho, Iowa. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Middle of the country
But
somewhere.
he's like a 8-year affiliate owner, and it was supposed to be a feel good story about like all these, about this guy out in the middle of nowhere changing people's lives and doing, living the dream, whatever. And that's what it was. Like he was a recovering drug addict and all this stuff that, found recovery through CrossFit and owning a gym. And then he got to the like last half hour, and the guy goes, "Yeah, I'm just hoping to stay open until January." And they're like, "Wait a minute, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, our numbers are down, this and that." And it was just like, oh, to me, the real view of a CrossFit affiliate. Like you could put all the feel good stories and shit up you want, but then ask the owner, so how well are you making a living? Are you successful in your making a living and your life? The answer is probably
Yeah. Are you
for
actually
the
profitable?
if there's 11,000 affiliates left, probably 10,000 of them, and you're always going to hear from the guys that are like, "Oh, I make all this money and this and that," the Khalipas and all these guys. The other 10,000 aren't making shit. They're
Well, you
doing
think
it
a
because they
thousand
love
of
it.
them are making big money? No, not nearly that many.
You don't think what is that 10 is that that's not even 10 is that 10%? Yeah. Yeah,
That's
no,
ten
not a
percent. No,
thousand.
maybe
Not
1%. Maybe a
Yeah,
hundred of
yeah,
them are doing
exactly.
well.
Yeah, so and I think that's the real reality, and I
And like
think that's
Kalipa
what
well,
was.
like Kalipa does really well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I know there are some that do well, and but yeah, like I said, if 1,000 of them out of
Yeah.
11,000 are doing well, I think that's like you said, it's probably more than's actual, and I think that's a problem, and I think that's the real story of the affiliate and the real problem that needs to be addressed. And I don't know if it's addressable because there's too many other ways to do CrossFit. Um, Beyond the Whiteboard, I don't know if you saw the hubbub about that. Beyond the Whiteboard put a poll up, I think on probably on Beyond the Whiteboard or on YouTube, and it was, would you rather work out in a well-equipped home gym like yourself or an affiliate? And fucking Justin Medeiros, the CrossFit Games champ, said, hands down, home gym.
They
Thanks,
need to pay him to
douchebag.
do better.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, man. I don't know. It's a sinking ship. And then Hiller just did a video on it too, because that was a pretty big deal. And his video was that was like the majority of the answers, or not the majority of answers, the majority of anybody that's in the CrossFit Games this week. There's not really any of them that actually do a workout. If they work out in an affiliate, which isn't a lot of them, they're not doing affiliate program at all. There's no one going to the CrossFit Games
Nobody is.
doing that works out at an affiliate as an affiliate member. They're all doing their own thing. Most of them working out not in a gym at all, right? Like look at Vellner and those guys. They don't work out. They work out their houses and all that shit. But I just thought
Yeah,
that was
almost
interesting.
everybody
And
does.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's the real thing that's the biggest problem, right? Is that it's too easy to work out not in a gym. Like myself, I'm still, dude. I was out there working, what, 12 hours, 6 uh, p.m. to 6
6 p.m. till
a.m. when
6
I was
a.m.
working for you, and every couple hours I did a little mini workout just to stay awake, right? Just to
Yeah, there you
stay
go. Get
stay
that blood
sharp and
pumping
keep the
again.
blood moving and get a little action in. And yeah, I did it in
So you
work
just bring a
boots and
sandbag
jeans.
with you or a kettlebell.
I brought kettlebell. I brought a like a 20-pound club. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically another kettlebell. I brought elastic bands, so I'm sitting around. I'm just doing crossover symmetry stuff, doing a lot of the stuff that I need to do. Right. Um, it's
yeah. Why not?
CrossFit's super easy to do somewhere else with limited equipment, which is what I'm going to get. That's my goal, is to get into programming that limited equipment and show that you could easily get in the shape that people are in an affiliate without ever going to affiliate and not even having a well-equipped gym, right? Just having a couple pieces of equipment. Dude, I worked out for 2 weeks with just bands and a kettlebell. And I was hurting one day I did 100 pistols with a 44-pound kettlebell in a good front rack, not like holding it out where
Yeah,
you're getting that counterbalance. It took me almost an hour or 45 minutes, something like that. That was brutal in work boots too. So the work boot kind of
on a
had some
slight
extra
slope.
on a slight slope, right? And yeah, one side was a lot harder. But even just having those boots on, you got that extra weight at the end, and it's like, man, I was beat up and my legs were hurting. Like that was a good strength set, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just like improvising. So, and that's
Well, the
what we've kind
reality
of been
is, can
talking
you
about
even
doing.
call it? Can you even call doing that doing CrossFit anymore? I mean, like to some
Yeah, no,
extent, CrossFit is the CrossFit Games, and everything else is
yeah,
just high intensity interval training, right?
yeah. So something Adrian Bosman said is that, and I don't know if you probably didn't catch all this, that the programming at this year's games is going to redefine the way we athletes put primacy, I think was the word he used. Basically, what you focus on in your training, it's going to change that. And so, obviously, the first question is, what are they putting primacy on now? To me, it's weightlifting, right? They all are like, I got to get stronger, I got to get stronger. And then secondarily was gymnastics, but I don't know. So, are we going to see Uh, more monostructural, less because traditional CrossFit programming that they teach you at the level one, if you remember, is
Yeah,
W
yeah.
weightlifting, G gymnastics, and M monostructural. So are we going to see a change to go away from we? They're kind of getting capped out on weight, right? They're already, and to me, I
They're
think this
maxing.
year, yeah, I think they're going to do a on Saturday. That's the weightlifting day, they said. Uh, my guess is it's going to be a clean and jerk. That's why I think the max clean and jerk, because I think they want somebody to clean and jerk 405 because they're at that moment when Guy and possibly a couple other guys can break the 400 mark, right? And that's
Well,
huge
and
because that's a you could get on the Olympic team if you could clean and jerk 400, right? In a lot of in our country, so
what are we going to see tomorrow out of the teams? Because they're going to be doing those
yeah,
jerks and their front
yeah,
squats.
dude, you're
So,
gonna see,
what's an elite level CrossFitter doing for a
bro.
front squat max? Four
Which
fifty.
one? Which one is Froning gonna do?
I
Jerk,
bet he's got over 400 front squat, and I can guarantee you he's got a 350 something pound jerk. So,
at least. Yeah.
whichever one he wants.
So to me, like Basman saying that,
And
like,
he's
is it
little.
these guys are yeah, these guys are maxing out and weightlifting. So like they're spending too much time weightlifting and maybe not enough time on other stuff. So let's look at real quick what we got, what we know of the
Yeah, you can
games
pull it up, right?
right now. And yeah, I'll
This
pull it up.
fancy new app.
Yeah, yeah. So does this give us a little bit of insight
So, start with
onto
teams
what
because we
that
were already there.
to what
Go to
teams?
teams first
Oh,
because we started on teams
oh
anyway.
man, you're killing me. Gotcha.
So, teams, we know 3 workouts so far, right? And we know three
Yeah, they just
workouts for
announced those
individuals too.
today. All the other stuff I believe was yesterday. It's not loading. There we go.
So,
Let's get a sec.
the
Primal.
team's
There we
first
go.
thing is similar to the individual's first thing. But
Because
so
we
we
got
got,
a, they all have a bike, right? In the first one.
yeah, so they're biking, but
Yeah, we got.
they push the bob, which is like the big 4-person sled down the field.
Yeah, it
Then
looks like
3
it
rounds of
weighed.
1 mile bike, bob
Yeah.
push, toes to bar. Sounds reasonable.
Yep.
And
And
synchro
that
toes to
looks
bar,
like,
that sucks. That's going to be hard. Male,
yeah,
male, female,
definitely.
female.
So it looks like male one and female one do the bob push and then do the bike, and then male two, female two do the bob push and then do the toes to bar. Oh, then switch. Okay, so they're going through this twice. Sorry, I didn't look at
Yeah.
this yet. Okay.
So
And
I think
then
that's a good workout. It's going to be brutally hard.
yeah, that's gonna be cool. I
I
was
think it'll be cool
watching
to
the
watch.
teams. I was watching the teams on their Instagrams pushing the bob, and it looked easy. But now I realized they had four of them on it. They so two of them on it's
Yeah.
going to be pretty hectic. Yeah, that's cool.
And
Yeah,
then,
so right there you got. So what I see there is you got a bike instead of an assault bike or a Concept 2 bike, which I like.
but it's a real
Which
bicycle. Yeah.
the way it should be, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. A real bicycle makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, should be at the games. And then you got
And
strong
then
and fast.
strong is going to be crazy. So they pick one guy to do a jerk, one girl to do a jerk, one guy to a front squat, one girl to a front squat
That's cool. And it's
immediately
only
after event two.
and they only have
No,
30
event three is
second.
immediately after event two.
So strong, they have two chances, two lifts, 30 or two 30-second windows to make their lift. So with the jerk, they're jerking off of jerk blocks. So Rogue is
Jerk
trying to
blocks, yep.
sell jerk blocks. I just want to go and say, affiliate owners, don't be like, oh, I got to get those cool new jerk blocks because they are cool. Did you see them?
No, I
They're
kind
the
of did. Yeah, the
they're
adjustable
the
ones.
they're the nice metal ones that raise up and
Yeah.
down from the bottom, right? They're cool. Don't do it, guys. They're the biggest. A jerk block is the biggest pain in the ass that takes up space that you're never going to use. But if you're like, fuck you, Bryce, I gotta get it, man. I wanna do practice my jerks. Just call a local CrossFit gym that already has jerk blocks, and you can buy them from them at a big discount because they don't want them. Just like you'll end up selling yours in the future,
So
just to save you guys money.
something I think is a really clever idea though that Rogue also sells is the plate that goes into the top of a plate. So into a bumper. So it's a
A
plate that
plate
has a
into the
little
top of a
pin in
bump.
the middle. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
plate that has a pin in the middle and then it has ridges on the sides, and you set it on top of a bumper plate. So then you
is
could
there?
put two stacks of bumper plates, and that would
Yeah.
give you a jerk block top, but it would only be two plates.
Is that what it's made for?
Yeah,
No. Oh,
yeah.
what's it called?
I don't
I'm
know.
trying to look it up. I don't know.
It's really
Huh.
cool. I like it. It's a good
Okay.
concept because then you would just put two giant stacks of 45s, and there's your jerk box.
Yeah, that is a
Which,
good
as an
idea.
affiliate, you'd already have that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so you need a big, a lot of weights. That's,
Yeah, if you had a lot of weights, you could do it. Like if you were just doing like from the shins, though, you could do it with like
I
445,
mean, yeah,
right?
it makes sense. It makes sense because if you do have an affiliate, you have tons of weights, and the one thing you're not going to do is go out and buy
So
four sets of jerk
yeah.
blocks, right? So that's cool. But yeah, anyway, so this one's very interesting because you're going to see some big numbers because they're going to pick what they're best at, right? They're going to figure out which combination. That's what you would do is figure out, okay, Paul jerks 300 and he front squats 305. Bryce jerks 295, but he squats 305. Obviously, I'm going to do the squat. You're going to do the jerk. We're going to end up with 5 more pounds, right? So they're going to be picking their better lift total between the two people. So that's pretty cool. Oh, I think I lost you there. All right, I lost you, Paul. But anyway, they got 30 seconds to make the lift, and they're only going to have 2 attempts. So that'll be pretty interesting. You're going to see some big numbers. Let's see. After that, you got the fast. So this is as a team. Oh, we lost Paul. Oh, here he is. He's back. Yo, lost you there, buddy.
Yeah, back.
All right, so we're back. So do you have anything else to say about the clean and jerk and front squat one?
No, I think that one's gonna be cool, and then fast straight into running, and it's immediately after event two.
Yep, immediately.
So they have to run
And
together 1,600 meters, and then pair.
they're gonna make them hold the strings. I know in the past they've made them run with a string or whatever between them.
Well, what's really interesting about this is they're giving rest, right? So the first, all
Yeah,
four of them have to run, and
yep.
then two of them have to run again immediately,
And it just says
and
two
then two of them
members.
run after.
So you're probably gonna have the guys run together and the girls run together on this, right? You're probably going to go the whole team.
You're gonna have your best runners run together immediately after your 1,600.
Yeah, they have to be like, obviously, you don't put the best guy and the best girl
Yeah,
together because they're probably still not. I mean, unless they're the same. Yeah, you're going to put whoever's closer.
yeah.
Um,
So you're gonna put your two closest, and you're probably put your. But then
guys,
that'd be a big strategy thing. Do you
yeah,
put your fastest people second,
yeah, so that they
or
have
because
more
that way they get the
rest.
time to rest and then they can go?
I think you're going to put your team runs together because your fast people are going to be running slower. They're going to be running to the pace of the
Yeah,
slower people. They're going to be a little more rested after the first mile. Then you let your two fastest
they're
people
ready to let it
go,
go.
which is probably going to be the guys. Meanwhile, the ladies or
Probably.
your two slowest are going to be resting, and then they can hit it hard after because they're going to have a good. You're talking. These guys are probably running as a team 7 minute mile. As the two members, probably 6:30, and then the two members probably over 6:30. I don't know. That's my guess.
I don't know. I think
Faster than that.
the
Yeah.
team's gonna be like sub 6. Like some of these, I mean, only at
You
the
think
best
so?
end of it, but
I don't
the
know, man. I
best
think
end
they're
of
gonna
it
make
are
them,
fast, dude. Like
but
five
but I'm
minute
thinking
miles is reasonable.
they're gonna tether them together though, which is gonna screw them up a little. I don't
A
know.
little.
Yeah,
but
a little, and
it's not
you're only as
ridiculous
fast.
for the
Yeah,
pro CrossFitters to be doing 5 minute miles.
I think it is for the slowest member on the team, right?
Maybe
And the slowest member on the team is going to slow the team down. So, but
that's
yeah,
true.
no, it's definitely be interesting. I mean, I'm always blown away by what these guys can do, right?
Yeah,
Do
it's
we
gonna be
know anything?
impressive. And then we don't know anything
Yeah.
else about the fifth, sixth, or seventh for them.
So they have four events on day one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
So
lot of work.
they start on Wednesday, and then they have Thursday off, just like the individuals, right? So
Yeah,
um, that brings us to the individuals. So a lot of running for the teams on the first day.
yeah, move those
A lot of
legs.
leg work. A lot of leg work. Same thing for the individuals. You got bike to work. So this one is 75 toes to bar, 5 miles. 75 chest to bar, 5 miles. No rest in there. Um, what do you like about this one?
I like it a lot, but I think that it's going to be way harder for people than they expect up front. When I first read that, I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. Then it's like 75 toes to bar is going to ruin your core.
Yeah,
And then you go
to
for your
ride a
five
bike.
mile bike with your sore core, and you're still okay. But now you get back to the chest to bars, you're tired and your core's taxed. Those chest to
Yeah,
bars are going to be tough. And then that
yeah,
last bike, you're just holding it together.
yeah. This is definitely one on the bike. It's not going to be won or lost on the other stuff. They're all going to break,
It
I
could
think,
be though, because you can blow up by going too hard.
maybe. But I don't think. I mean, I don't think any of them will. I don't think they're going out there
No,
and
three
doing.
sets of 25.
I don't think anybody's going to be like, I'm going to go do 75 toes to bar because they can. They're going to break it
Yeah.
up at least once, if not probably twice.
Yeah, I think they'll do 25s or something along
I
those
would
lines.
I would probably do I would do 30, 25, 20. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm saying if I could, I would. I would do 100 sets of one. No, I mean 75 sets of one.
I mean, what I would
Uh,
honestly do is I'd probably do a set of 30 and then I'd say, well, shit,
yeah.
that was stupid.
Yes, absolutely. I do 30, then I'd sit there for about 20, 30 seconds. I'd go up and do like 11, 20,
Yeah,
30 seconds,
exactly.
5, then I'd go down to singles. Yeah. Um, 5 mile bike, it's a 1 mile loop. So
Yeah,
that's going to
and
be
5 mile
interesting. So,
bike, that's not
but the
that bad.
interesting, but this is the thing I think nobody's really thinking about. It's a 5 mile bike ride in a loop. You're going to have everybody on that loop, and I guess it's not
Oh, it's
very
gonna get crowded.
wide. Yeah, it's
Oh
not
yeah,
very wide. It's only I think somebody said like 15 meters or something like that, or 5 meters, 15 feet.
yeah. It's because they like people crashing into each other. There's
Yeah,
gonna be like
and
all kinds of
because
epic crashes.
and because
Oh
it's
yeah,
a 5 mile loop, you're always going to be passing each other. There's going to be tons of passing.
constantly.
So this is actually not necessarily about how fit you are, how great of a bike rider you are, or it's definitely about how good of a bike rider you are because you're going
Yeah.
to be weaving in and out. Like the people that are really slow on the bike could still be on their last lap when the guys are coming onto their first lap of the second part. You know what I mean?
Oh,
If
they can
if
screw each other up too. Like somebody
Yeah.
who's like really all over the place could mess with a whole bunch of really good people.
And I think that's great because that makes it a sport. Otherwise,
Yep.
if it's just like it's just watching the same person in the lead the whole fucking time, and it's like, okay, that person's fitter. Like there's no test of actual bike riding skill. This is a test of bike
Yeah.
riding skill to me. Like the skill, weaving in and out, doing all that good stuff. And they're on like a touring bike, yeah. But I don't know, is
It
that what
looked to
you'd
me
call
like
that?
they're on like a hybrid bike. They're on like
A
a Trek
hybrid bike.
hybrid, I think,
There you go,
which
hybrid
is
bike.
good. Like that's not a bad thing for this. I
Yeah,
think that's
no,
a good test.
I think it's a good test, and also because that's the bike that most people have access to, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you're doing it on a road bike like you use for your triathlon, okay, there's a very small group of people that you know are
Yeah.
have
Who
access
invests
to.
that money in a bike? I agree with that.
Yeah, mountain bikes are really the way people are doing biking nowadays, and touring bikes, so or hybrid
Yeah.
bike, I guess you call it. Yeah, I think it's a good
Okay,
idea.
and then we get out of that out of that craziness. They're gonna have some time to rest, and then we get on to the next one. Audit. I'll come back.
Yep.
Okay, so
Um,
then this is gonna be crazy because the weights are insane.
Absolutely. You got
Like 400
200 for
meter
the
run, and then
ladies.
max jerks to finish the 2 minutes.
Is this insane for them, or is it just kind of heavy?
I mean, it's not ridiculous, but it's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
You
No,
sprint
it's definitely
400
heavy.
meters. You sprint
Yeah,
400 meters. I don't care if you have a 400-pound jerk. After sprinting as fast as you can 400 meters,
yeah.
hitting 300 for 2 or 3 is going to be rough.
What do you think these guys are coming in on the 400 meters for the guys? I'll assume the ladies are about 7, 8 seconds slower.
And the guys are coming in on a 400 like a
120,
minute 15,
min,
minute
minute 15.
minute 10 maybe.
Dude, that's hauling. That's fucking
That's going
flying.
fast.
That's going real
Maybe
fast.
maybe a minute 30 so that they can jerk. Maybe
So
they'll
that they
slow
can
down on
jerk.
purpose so that they can
Plan
jerk.
for plan for 30 seconds on jerks. I like that they're using the jerk blocks so that they don't have to pick it up.
Well, and
Affiliate
that would
owners,
change it.
I would definitely go out and buy a jerk block so you could do that. You don't have to pick it up. Um,
So yeah, that first one, and then the second one. Now we're going to 6 minutes
you get a 1 minute
or
break.
six. Sorry,
Yeah,
600 meters.
yeah,
That
600
minute rest is
meters,
nothing, man. That's going to be brutal.
nothing.
600 meters is going to be a long run. I hate that distance. It's like one of my least favorite distances.
You think that extra 200 is going to add what, a minute? Probably. They're going to be at two
Yeah,
minutes.
probably.
They'd
Yeah.
be coming in
So I
two
got
minutes
two
or
minutes.
more.
So they got a minute to jerk.
Probably a little more than 2 minutes, I bet. 210, 40 seconds of jerking, 50 seconds. How many
More than
jerks do you think these
likely,
guys, how many jerks do you think we're going to see? Let's
I
say
think
you
the
got
best
30
guys will get
minutes,
5.
30 seconds, 5 in the first round.
Like would be like an amazing one. Some people will get 1. Some will get 0.
You think so? You think somebody's going to get
I
0?
I think there's going to be some people there. Not like the Vellners, but like the
No.
lower end of it.
Yeah,
They're
that's
going to
true.
go.
The
They're going to
guys,
run too hard on the 400. They'll be breathing too heavy, and they won't be able to lock it up for a 300.
yeah. So here's something. So obviously the people that can run this workout benefits them because they'll have more time to jerk, right? If you're good at running. Now, if you're bad at running, I don't care how good of a jerker you are, you're in trouble, right? Like, does anybody get into a lot of trouble to finish this run and only have like 15, 20 seconds left? You know what I mean? Especially for when we got to especially talk about the ladies because they're going to run a little slower, right? Just
They will. Yeah.
physically because they are. Um, so they're in a lot of
But
trouble with
is
being
200
able
as
to.
heavy for them?
True. I guess that would be the scale, right? To scale it down slightly.
Like, look at a strong girl compared to a strong guy. So we look at like Danny Spiegel
Well, yeah.
versus Vellner.
I think
Like,
it's
both of
just
them are
as heavy.
strong.
I think it's just as
Is it?
heavy. Yeah.
I don't know. I
Because
think
look
it's
at the
lighter for Danny.
because look at the guys. I bet you they're near their top guys are clean and jerking 400. The top women are they right around 300? They got to be 280, 290,
Oh, easily.
290.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think
I
it's
guess
I
so.
think it's I think it's a it might be 5, 10 pounds heavy lighter, but I don't know.
Not much. Not much. You're right.
Not
And
much.
then how much
So
slower
so
are the fast girls though?
so
Not that much
right.
slower
So
either.
so somebody like Danny Spiegel, she's a slow runner. How slow is she? She ain't got a lot of time on those jerks, you know. And those bottom end people, like
And
they're
then
gonna have trouble, you know.
yeah, I think there's definitely some people that finish their runs and can't even get the jerks.
Dude, how
And
about
then I
that?
think the guys that are going to crush it are going to get like a few reps in each round. I don't think that you get many more rounds just because you have a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think you're talking like let's say you got in and you did 5 or 6 in the first round, that extra minute, that's probably only good for a couple more reps, right? Like 2 reps.
So let's scale this back. If you and I were to do this workout
Right,
and we
that's
did
what I
the
was
same
thinking.
runs, but we brought it down to
225.
225.
Yeah.
So at 225, how many times can you jerk it after a 400-meter run? A few.
Man, I would hope
I could
7.
cycle a few for sure.
Yeah, I would cycle like 3, drop it, pick it up for 2, drop it, and then hope to get a couple singles, maybe. That's a lot.
Maybe. No,
That's
you couldn't
yeah.
get that much in 30 seconds.
You don't think so, huh?
In 30 seconds, you're going to get like a good set of like 3, 4
5.
maybe at the get go. Maybe 5
Yeah.
if you could hold strong for it. Then you put it down, maybe at 1 more because you're
One
about
more.
to get the
Okay.
buzzer.
I would like 6.
So
5, 6 would be good. And then in the 600-meter one, I'm probably only getting 1 or probably 2 more tops.
yeah, at most because you don't really have
Yeah.
much more time because that
But
extra
bro, I'm at the
minute, what
CrossFit.
you've.
I'm at the CrossFit Games, bro. I'm flying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so Yeah, that'll
Crazy
be
one though.
interesting.
All right.
Exciting
So
to
the
watch for sure.
and then the interesting one, 800 meters in 4 minutes after all that work, and then having some
Oh yeah,
jerks.
that's
I
gonna be
mean,
hard already.
I guess they're only going to have about a minute, less than a minute again. So that makes sense. Maybe 30
And I think
seconds,
all the way through
45
they're
seconds.
there. They're like 50 seconds per time.
Yeah, 30 probably on the 40 on the first one, 50 on the second one, a minute on the last one. That'd be pretty accurate. Yeah, that's gonna
And
be
then
interesting.
with the little
So
bit
how
of
there's
rest, it's gonna be pretty steady.
yeah, oh you get an extra minute rest on the to the third one. So the way they score this is the run. You add up all your runs, your times. That's one score worth 100. So if
Mm.
you're good at running, that's where you don't hold back, and I think that's why they did this. That way you're not going to hold back on the runs if you're good at running, because otherwise you'd hold back a little bit so you had a little more juice for the jerks if you're not the best at jerks. Now, if you're good at running, you're that's an event. That run is
So
an event by itself.
so is there a line for Vellner to step on to get knocked out?
Well, I don't know. It says
No,
shuttle. It might be. It says shuttle, right?
because
So I
that's
don't
totally a
I don't
factor
know
for
what
him, right?
I don't know what the
Like
shuttle
well, for
is. Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
Like if they have
absolutely.
to
If
stay
there
within a
is.
certain area and everything, then you could screw that up.
And they might give a penalty of some sort, like a time penalty every time you hit a line. Who knows? They could throw all kinds of shit in this. And then your jerks are you add up all your jerks, and that's another 100 points. So those
So
guys
who
that
wins
are,
this?
dude, I have no idea. Guy, I don't know. He's got a good jerk, but
He's stronger, but he wins part
dude,
B.
who loses it is Colton Mertens. Um, Definitely loses the run. He might get the weaker guys on the jerk because he's going to get
Yeah.
like one in each round. Um, yeah, I'm not
You know
I'm
who
not
beats
smart enough to
everybody?
know who wins
Tia.
this.
Tia beats everybody, boys and girls. Tia's
Probably
got
she
better running
probably
capability than
eh,
everybody.
well no she's not going to win the run. She'll win the jerks though. On
Now she can win the
the
run
guys
too.
and girls, I'm saying. No, she
Yeah,
won't.
I think she can win
Zero
both.
chance.
Now maybe
Zero,
not.
zero chance. Who wins
She'll
the
win for the
run?
girls by a lot.
Who's good at running? Fikowski?
Fikowski's great at running. Vellner is
He's
a really
pretty.
good runner, but he
Yeah, Vellner. Yeah.
stepped on the line. He could take it.
Well, one interesting thing too is a 400
Frazier would
meter run.
dominate this.
A 400-meter run is a lot different than an 800-meter run. That's two different
Oh
people,
yeah,
right?
that's very true. Yeah,
Medeiros, I'm sure will do fine. I mean, they're all going to do well. It's all how
yeah.
they're going to.
Hopper.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really don't know. I'm not. I don't pay attention to them enough to know who's good at what. Not in
Yeah,
that
fair enough.
aspect. Like I know
Okay,
Guy
now the
can do
capital.
Olympic lifting. The capital. This is so there will be one more event on Wednesday. I know it says individual event three, but I think individual event three is the other score,
Part of B.
right? So you got one, two, three, but maybe not. Maybe there's that many. So then you got because they're up to 13 individual events. So that's is that 13 scored? Yeah, maybe. So the Capitol, this is Friday morning, so they always like to do something pretty, pretty cool on the morning ones, right? They want a big
Yeah,
splash for the opener. So this one starts in the stadium with pig flips, 20 pig flips. These are like 510 pounds. That's a good sized tire, yeah.
that's a big flip.
R-
Yeah, that's not awesome.
Right into the 3.5 mile run. So now you've got the third distance, right? You got a 400-meter run, an 800-meter run, and now a 3.5 mile run. So you've got short, medium-ish, and then decently long, 5K roughly, right? So everybody
Yep.
everybody will kind of have an idea what they should be running this in. Coming off the pig flip, though, I don't know.
And then the carries shouldn't be too crazy, but they're heavy.
Yeah, to me the 200-meter jerry bag carry, they're soft, so that's nice. They're 100 pounds each. I could
That's a
see
lot of
these.
weight.
They're going to try to push this, right?
Yeah.
They might break where they put it down. They're going to pick it right back up. They're going to try to haul ass. They're going to be a little out of breath off the run, and the adding the weight's
Well,
going
and
to
they're
make them a
not
little
going to want to
more
put down that the
this
Hesfeld,
Husafell,
Hesefeld, Husafeld.
Husafell.
They
So
don't want to
it's
put
like a
that thing
die.
down.
They don't, but they're going to have to because they're going to blow themselves up on the jerry can. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be moving pretty fast on that to try to get it done before their grip gives out, and then having to pick that Husafeld up to the chest. You're breathing hard after all that stuff. You're breathing hard, and now you got that thing against your chest, and it's a soft
That's why I
one.
think you'd be
So it's,
smart to break up the Jerry.
yeah,
Break
conserve
up
a
the
little
Jerry so that you can actually run out the Hesafel.
and pick it up once and only
I,
once.
ideally, because
Yeah,
how do you even clean that thing from the ground? Like that thing's gonna suck.
yeah, it is gonna suck. That's 200-pound bag. That sucks. And it's
Yeah.
going to be pressing because it's soft. It's going to be pressing all against your chest, your abdomen, all that
Oh,
stuff. So
squeeze all air out of your lungs, big time.
it's going to be vicious. So what do you see here? So something I'm seeing like what's his name? Bosman said about that. Change the primacy of your training. Uh, the thing I see us going back to here or bringing into the games is functional fitness, right? There's
Yeah.
not a lot of, yeah, there's a barbell in here, but it's all very functional. Something that I feel CrossFit sport severely lacks. Not that they don't touch on this stuff, but it's mostly
Yeah.
a lot of like specialized type of, movements and not necessarily bringing in the function. Like, what's the function of a handstand walk? There's not a function of a handstand walk.
They look
There's
cool.
definitely a function of a jerry bag carry, Husafell stone, pig flips, running,
Yeah.
biking, actual bikes,
Yeah.
running and picking stuff up. So I'm wondering if, because I want to see the way this plays out of why he said that, because I think that's probably going to be the story of this games, is if he's saying
Hmm.
it's going to change the way people train, it's going to be pretty significant, and that's what I'm seeing so far. Function.
I also see that there's a lot of fairly heavy stuff, but a lot of cardio mixed into it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can't just be really good at lifting heavy things because if your cardio is not there, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But
Yep.
you can't just be really good cardio like you were at the games this
Aerobic,
year or at the
aerobic capacity. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can't just have great aerobic like you had to for the open because you will
Yeah.
not make it out of this.
Well, this is kind of like what you were saying for your training of the Ironman. You liked the aerobic stuff, stop, heavy weights, go, aerobic,
Yes.
anaerobic, aerobic mixed together really well, right? Um,
And that's what I'm going to do for my training going forward.
yeah, absolutely. So this could be right up your alley, buddy. So next
It is,
CrossFit,
honestly.
so you might as well make the
Like
CrossFit
runs and
Games
jerks,
next year.
I'd set that up. I'd go
You
buy
might
some
as
jerk blocks.
you might as well just make the games next year, so you'll already be doing it. You'll be good to go.
I mean, like I might as
S-
well. Once I'm
Simple,
done the Ironman World Championship, might as well go the next step, right?
simple. Just are you going to win the Ironman World Championship?
No, just show up, just like the games. I don't
Hell
have
yeah.
any aspirations for winning anything, buddy. Just showing up.
No, that's it,
If I
man.
can get a lottery spot for the games, I'm down.
Yep, yep. That would be
Well,
awesome.
this will be interesting, man. So I guess we get to start watching it tomorrow. It looks like we can watch it multiple ways. Primarily, we're going to watch it on games.com, I think, or YouTube.
Yep. Yeah,
And
tomorrow. Not sure what time it starts. Uh, yep. Please subscribe to our channel, guys. And I want to try to get maybe do a show a day. That would be nice on what's happened during the day or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I got to talk to you guys and see who's available for what. Maybe do a few what do you call it? Like fight companion type stuff where we're watching it and kind of reacting to it. And probably
yeah,
talk about more. They're going to release events every day, right? So we could talk about the events and talk about what we saw, maybe if anything cool happened. Um, yeah. So
sounds like fun.
please subscribe, guys, and smash that like button, hit the bell, and don't forget to get your de-affiliate T-shirts as well as others. T-shirts available at train.recover.repeat.com.
Train, recover,
Follow
repeat.
this show, the 20 Minutes of
This
Fitness show,
show,
on IG at
20
20 Minutes of
minutes of fitness.
Fitness. And that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for hopefully this went pretty well, and we'll
We'll see how this went. Maybe you won't want to listen after this week because our
yeah,
quality was so
we
terrible.
might delete it because the quality sucks. Who knows? We'll see. But all right,
But
later,
next week
guys.
we'll be back to live in person together at least. Peace.
Boom. All right,
Oh, you got to do yours now.
I gotta end the broadcast.